forward to hearing from you.
Have you visited the Stratton Centre on Peachy Road, Manapara? Designed to support growth in the city of Playford, the centre offers dedicated workspaces from less than $10 per day. There's also state-of-the-art event and meeting spaces for hire, a complimentary business support service to help you upskill, apply for grants and grow, workshops and networking, as well as training for young kids right through to adults. Plus, the City of Playford Library.
Contact our team for a tour on 8254 4666 or visit the Stratton Centre at 307 Peachy Road, Manapara.
Support your local theatre and arts industry and enjoy a show at the Shedley. Playford's iconic Shedley Theatre is bringing a great selection of local and national performances to Elizabeth.
For more information on their upcoming shows, visit theshedley.com.au or call 8256 0500.
Did you know your food scraps should go in the green bin or a home compost system? It's better for the environment. It's the right thing to do. And it's easy. Fight food waste by putting all your food scraps, peels and leftovers in the green bin. To find out more, visit playford.sa.gov.au/fightfoodwaste.
Want to know what's happening in the community? Subscribe to our e-newsletter, Playford News, at playford.sa.gov.au and you'll be on top of stories, news and what's happening in Playford. It's local news for local people.
Want to get involved in your community? There are so many benefits in becoming a volunteer at City of Playford, including meeting new people, developing new skills, sharing your talents, improving your employability, as well as enhancing your own mental health and well-being.
If you want to learn more about how to volunteer with us, visit playford.sa.gov.au/volunteers. Feedback about our city's future from our community is really important. It helps us prioritise your needs when planning services, projects and other initiatives.
A convenient way to have your say and stay in the loop on any upcoming consultations is by registering your details on our Engagement Hub website at playford.engagementhub.com.au.
We look forward to hearing from you.
Have you visited the Stratton Centre on Peachy Road, Manapara? Designed to support growth in the city of Playford, the centre offers dedicated workspaces from less than $10 per day. There's also state-of-the-art event and meeting spaces for hire, a complimentary business support service to help you upskill, apply for grants and grow, workshops and networking, as well as training for young kids right through to adults. Plus, the City of Playford Library.
Contact our team for a tour on 8254 4666 or visit the Stratton Centre at 307 Peachy Road, Manapara.
Support your local theatre and arts industry and enjoy a show at the Shedley. Playford's iconic Shedley Theatre is bringing a great selection of local and national performances to Elizabeth.
For more information on their upcoming shows, visit theshedley.com.au or call 8256 0500.
Did you know your food scraps should go in the green bin or a home compost system? It's better for the environment. It's the right thing to do. And it's easy. Fight food waste by putting all your food scraps, peels and leftovers in the green bin. To find out more, visit playford.sa.gov.au/fightfoodwaste.
Want to know what's happening in the community? Subscribe to our e-newsletter, Playford News, at playford.sa.gov.au and you'll be on top of stories, news and what's happening in Playford. It's local news for local people.
Want to get involved in your community? There are so many benefits in becoming a volunteer at City of Playford, including meeting new people, developing new skills, sharing your talents, improving your employability, as well as enhancing your own mental health and well-being.
If you want to learn more about how to volunteer with us, visit playford.sa.gov.au/volunteers. Feedback about our city's future from our community is really important. It helps us prioritise your needs when planning services, projects and other initiatives.
A convenient way to have your say and stay in the loop on any upcoming consultations is by registering your details on our Engagement Hub website at playford.engagementhub.com.au.
We look forward to hearing from you.
Have you visited the Stretton Centre on Peachy Road, Manapara? Designed to support growth in the city of Playford, the centre offers dedicated workspaces from less than $10 per day. There's also state-of-the-art event and meeting spaces for hire, a complimentary business support service to help you upskill, apply for grants and grow, workshops and networking, as well as training for young kids right through to adults. Plus, the City of Playford Library.
Contact our team for a tour on 8254 4666 or visit the Stretton Centre at 307 Peachy Road, Manapara.
Support your local theatre and arts industry and enjoy a show at the Shedley. Playford's iconic Shedley Theatre is bringing a great selection of local and national performances to Elizabeth.
For more information on their upcoming shows, visit theshedley.com.au or call 8256 0500.
Did you know your food scraps should go in the green bin or a home compost system? It's better for the environment. It's the right thing to do. And it's easy. Fight food waste by putting all your food scraps, peels and leftovers in the green bin. To find out more, visit playford.sa.gov.au/fightfoodwaste.
Want to know what's happening in the community? Subscribe to our e-newsletter, Playford News, at playford.sa.gov.au, and you'll be on top of stories, news and what's happening in Playford. It's local news for local people.
Want to get involved in your community? There are so many benefits in becoming a volunteer at City of Playford, including meeting new people, developing new skills, sharing your talents, improving your employability, as well as enhancing your own mental health and well-being.
If you want to learn more about how to volunteer with us, visit playford.sa.gov.au/volunteers. Feedback about our city's future from our community is really important. It helps us prioritise your needs when planning services, projects and other initiatives.
A convenient way to have your say and stay in the loop on any upcoming consultations is by registering your details on our Engagement Hub website at playford.engagementhub.com.au.
We look forward to hearing from you.
Have you visited the Stratton Centre on Peachy Road, Manapara? Designed to support growth in the city of Playford, the centre offers dedicated workspaces from less than $10 per day. There's also state-of-the-art event and meeting spaces for hire, a complimentary business support service to help you upskill, apply for grants and grow, workshops and networking, as well as training for young kids right through to adults, plus the City of Playford Library.
Contact our team for a tour on 8254 4666 or visit the Stratton Centre at 307 Peachy Road, Manapara.
Support your local theatre and arts industry and enjoy a show at the Shedley. Playford's iconic Shedley Theatre is bringing a great selection of local and national performances to Elizabeth.
For more information on their upcoming shows, visit theshedley.com.au or call 8256 0500.
Did you know your food scraps should go in the green bin or a home compost system? It's better for the environment. It's the right thing to do. And it's easy. Fight food waste by putting all your food scraps, peels and leftovers in the green bin. To find out more, visit playford.sa.gov.au/fightfoodwaste.
Want to know what's happening in the community? Subscribe to our e-newsletter, Playford News, at playford.sa.gov.au, and you'll be on top of stories, news and what's happening in Playford. It's local news for local people.
Want to get involved in your community? There are so many benefits in becoming a volunteer at City of Playford, including meeting new people, developing new skills, sharing your talents, improving your employability, as well as enhancing your own mental health and well-being.
If you want to learn more about how to volunteer with us, visit playford.sa.gov.au/volunteers. Feedback about our city's future from our community is really important. It helps us prioritise your needs when planning services, projects and other initiatives.
A convenient way to have your say and stay in the loop on any upcoming consultations is by registering your details on our Engagement Hub website at playford.engagementhub.com.au.
We look forward to hearing from you.
Have you visited the Stretton Centre on Peachy Road, Manapara? Designed to support growth in the city of Playford, the centre offers dedicated workspaces from less than $10 per day. There's also state-of-the-art event and meeting spaces for hire, a complimentary business support service to help you upskill, apply for grants and grow, workshops and networking, as well as training for young kids right through to adults. Plus, the City of Playford Library.
Contact our team for a tour on 8254 4666 or visit the Stretton Centre at 307 Peachy Road, Manapara.
Support your local theatre and arts industry and enjoy a show at the Shedley. Playford's iconic Shedley Theatre is bringing a great selection of local and national performances to Elizabeth.
For more information on their upcoming shows, visit theshedley.com.au or call 8256 0500.
Did you know your food scraps should go in the green bin or a home compost system? It's better for the environment. It's the right thing to do. And it's easy. Fight food waste by putting all your food scraps, peels and leftovers in the green bin. To find out more, visit playford.sa.gov.au/fightfoodwaste.
Want to know what's happening in the community? Subscribe to our e-newsletter, Playford News, at playford.sa.gov.au and you'll be on top of stories, news and what's happening in Playford. It's local news for local people.
Want to get involved in your community? There are so many benefits in becoming a volunteer at City of Playford, including meeting new people, developing new skills, sharing your talents, improving your employability, as well as enhancing your own mental health and well-being.
If you want to learn more about how to volunteer with us, visit playford.sa.gov.au/volunteers. Feedback about our city's future from our community is really important. It helps us prioritise your needs when planning services, projects and other initiatives.
A convenient way to have your say and stay in the loop on any upcoming consultations is by registering your details on our Engagement Hub website at playford.engagementhub.com.au.
We look forward to hearing from you.
Have you visited the Stretton Centre on Peachy Road, Manapara? Designed to support growth in the city of Playford, the centre offers dedicated workspaces from less than $10 per day. There's also state-of-the-art event and meeting spaces for hire, a complimentary business support service to help you upskill, apply for grants and grow, workshops and networking, as well as training for young kids right through to adults. Plus, the City of Playford Library.
Contact our team for a tour on 8254 4666 or visit the Stratton Centre at 307 Peachy Road, Manopara.
And welcome to tonight's Strategy and Services Committee meeting. I'll open the meeting at 7 o'clock and moved on to the attendance record. I believe we have everyone present. We've got Councillor Marsh via Zoom and Councillor Reefy via Zoom. Am I missing anyone? No, we'll confirm that. Thank you. Moving on to item 2, confirmation of minutes. We have a recommendation before us. The minutes of the Strategy and Service Committee meeting held the 14th of October 2025 be confirmed as true and accurate record of proceedings. Do I have someone happy to move that way? Councillor Smiljanec.
Happy to move, no need to speak.
Thank you. Councillor Small-Smith.
Seconded that, thank you.
Thank you. I'll put that to the floor for any other comments or feedback. No, if not, I'll put that to a vote. All those in favour? Those against? I declare that carried. Thank you. Moving on to declarations of interest. Does anyone have any declarations of interest? Councillor Onizans.
During the sports season. That's the reason for me. So I will remove myself.
So thank you, Councillor Onizans. Councillor Halls.
Oh, thank you. Doesn't show up down here now. Who's in the line? Yes, I have a conflict of interest for 5.2, which is community support and grant programs 25-26. I'm on the board of the Midway Road Community House, and although they were technically not eligible for this grant, I will leave the room for transparency.
All right. Thank you, Councillor Halls. Councillor Norris.
Thank you. I also declare a conflict of interest on agenda item 5.2. I am also on the board of Midway Road Community House, and just for transparency, I will leave the room.
Thank you, Councillor Norris. Are there any others? No, thank you. Moving on to number 4, deputations, representations, which are nil. Staff reports at 5.1, page 6. Disability Access Inclusion Plan 25 to 29. We have a staff recommendation before us. Is someone happy to move that way? Councillor Smiljanec.
Thank you. I'd like to move the Disability Access and Inclusion Plan and the staff recommendation. Having a good thorough read through this document, it is a fantastic way to set up to be inclusive within our entire community. I love the What We Heard report. I love that the team went out there to listen to our people in our community and get at a range of diversity, and I'm very thankful that we have this team within our council. So if you haven't read the document in depth, I'm talking to anyone who's not in this room, perhaps listening online. It is a very good read, and having more input through the public consultation will only increase awareness within our council, and I think it will be very beneficial from now until the inclusion plan ends, well, not so much ends, but up until 2029. So any feedback would be very welcomed. So well done to the staff.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Onizans, would you like to second that?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Yes, I'm happy to second that. Yep. Thank you.
Would you like to speak to it?
Yeah, well, this draft of the Disability Access and Inclusion Plan 2025-2029 highlights our council's proactive approach, and obviously that's fantastic, and ongoing commitment supporting people living with disability. I am interested, well, I was reading it, I'm interested to know whether our community participation through surveys and engagement has increased compared to previous years, in particular the introduction of a gift voucher. Did that help boost participation rates at all?
Okay, so you're seeking
in comparison to last year? Yeah, I would like to ask that.
No worries. Mrs. Godfrey, please. Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Councillor Onyia Zans. Through the chair, we'll have to take that one on notice, so we can just check for you what the last round of consultation looked like as well.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Norris.
Thank you. I had a couple of questions just reading through. So like on page 30, where it discusses highest disagreement. I just wanted to ask some questions around, so there was some concerns with like, I guess, movement around the city. And I know that we're redoing a lot of our footpaths and a lot of them are wider. Is there a consistency there with the width of the footpaths moving forward?
Yeah. Thank you, Councillor Norris. Ms. Godfrey? Oh, sorry, Ms. Miston, sorry.
Sorry, thank you. Through the chair, thank you for the question. Yes, we've recently published the urban design guidelines for council. So our footpath width standard for normal local streets is 1.5 metres wide. A lot of the existing footpath network is between 1 and 1.2, so that is an increase. And on busier roads, like if there's a shopping centre or it's a bus route, etc., the minimum is 1.8.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. I have more questions. In regards to the other two items on that page, it talks about not really knowing how to get involved in council decisions or consultations, and also being aware of the programs. And I guess I'm just wondering what sort of communication strategy we have as well, because obviously I know we have social media and we've probably got a couple of little pamphlets floating around, but if these guys are feeling quite disengaged with that sort of thing, is there something else that we can be doing in that space?
Thank you, Ms. Findlay.
No worries, through the chair. Thanks for the question. So that's obviously something as part of the plan we'll be working on, which methods of communication hit with the different parts of the community. So we know that's a general community sentiment as well as those living with a disability. Yep. So that's part of what we'll work on as a plan as we kind of go through the process.
Cool. I've got one more, it's probably for you.
Sure.
On page 116, it talks about providing disability access and inclusion training to council members, staff and volunteers. Mm-hmm. Are you able to remind me again of the training that we have had or maybe will be having in the future around that?
I will need to take that one on notice and we'll get back to you.
Cool. Thank you.
Councillor Halls.
Yes, just a question, if you wouldn't mind, please. Can I just clarify that when we're talking about disability access and inclusion, that's about only people with disability. So if you're talking about the LGBTQIA plus people, it's only those with disability, not those who need social inclusion as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, through the chair, thank you for the question. So this plan has a focus on people with a disability. However, through the priority groups, we know that there are people from that community and our other priority groups, so First Nations as well. So those people that face that intersectionality of different disadvantage, so they are picked up in this particular plan. However, there is a focus on people with a disability as well.
Follow-up question, is there an age group that we are looking at with that type of thing, or is it from any age?
So the plan has a focus across the whole width of community. However, one of the priority groups are also children as well. So a little bit of an extra focus there.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you, Councillor Halls. Councillor Onyia Zans.
Yeah, I have another question, please, Chair. Yes. Thank you. So I was looking at page 17 and I'm reflecting on the 5 priorities identified by the community during 2020 to 2024. So I would just like to know what key factors or initiatives help the Council stay focused and succeed in shaping the 2025 to 2029 draft access and inclusion plan. And so are there as well measurable outcomes or indicators tied up to to each priority that was put there?
Yeah, sure. So through the chair, so some of the actions have measures which we have to report onto the state government. So most of the actions will have some level of measure attached to them. However, some of them are numbers based and some of them are more stories based as well. So we also will report on the plan every year to the state government, and you will also see that report once a year.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Any other questions or discussion? No, if not, thank you, Ms Finlay. Sorry, there is one more. Councillor Bownie.
On page 6, it says that the alternative accessible formats of the DAIP will also be made available during consultation, including easy English and screen reader friendly versions. So is it available in other languages as well, or just easy English?
Through the chair, at this stage, just easy English.
Yeah.
That version has been produced for community. So.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Thank you.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, I'll put that to a vote. All those in favour? And those against? I declare that carried. Thank you. Moving on to 5.2, Community Support and Grant Program 25-26. Yep. All. All right. Thank you, councillors. We have a staff recommendation before us. Councillor Bownie, would you like to move that way?
No, I have another question. Can you please say the page number as well, because we're on laptop and we have to go through.
Okay, it's page 134.
Thank you.
No. Councillor Baker.
Move the recommendation, Mr Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Small-Smith.
Second the recommendation, thank you.
Thank you. All right, put that to the floor. Councillor Smiljanek.
Just a quick one. I just wanted to say thank you to the team for putting this together. It would have been a hard decision to not recommend some, and this is the reason why we have a checklist essentially for the staff to go through and whether they are recommended for funding or not. I actually was really interested to see sort of the amount requested versus what was recommended, and I noticed that the staff did their due diligence and went through the invoices and the quotes for the particular community event, and they referred to the quote that was given, and they gave that amount to the association or that club. So I want to say well done to the staff for doing their due diligence and giving so many community groups some funding for this financial year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Anyone else? If not, I'll put that to a vote. All those in favour? And those against? I declare that carried. Thank you. Well, let's see if we can get the councillors back in the room. Okay, thank you, councillors. So we're moving on to 5.
Something in, because we are a bit moving really quickly, and I had a question and you didn't even see, and some people didn't even vote, and we didn't even capture that. So if we move a bit, slower, so we allow for people to actually, observe what's been happening. And,
Thank you, Councillor Bownie.
Thank you.
And
that would be really appreciated.
I'll focus on that, and
Thank you so
also
much.
if we can put our lights on early as well, that'd be appreciated too. Thank you. Moving on to 5.3, appointment of presiding member. We have a staff recommendation before us, so we'll look to have someone to move the staff recommendation. Following that, we'll seek appointment. Do I have someone happy to move that way? Councillor Smiljanek.
Yeah, happy to move the staff recommendation.
Thank you. And Mayor Doherty.
Happy to second.
Happy to second that. Thank you very much. All right, so I'll put that to the... Does anyone have any comment or discussion? If not, I'll put that to the floor. All those in favour? And those against? I declare that carried. Thank you. So now we need to seek nominations. I'll put that to the floor. Councillor Carlson.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Halls.
Thank you. Councillor Halls, are you happy to accept that nomination? Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Councillor Starr.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Vanderpeer, please.
Thank you. Councillor Vanderpeer, are you happy to accept that nomination? Yes. Yep. Yes, thank you. And Councillor Onizans.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to nominate Councillor Norris. Thank
Councillor
you.
Norris. Thank you. So we have 3 nominations. Are there any other nominations? Oh, sorry. Councillor Norris, did you accept the nomination? Thank you. Are there any other nominations? No, if not, I'll ask people to select their ballot papers. Yeah. And for Councillor Marsh and Councillor Reefy online, if you're able to message our CEO, Mr Green, your vote, that'd be appreciated. Thank you. And yeah, just while we're waiting for that, just like to say a few words. Sitting up here for 12 months has been a great learning experience, and like to thank my fellow elected members for giving me the opportunity. And I hope whoever's selected this time round has a great opportunity as well. So thank you.
Thank you, councillors. Results of the ballot are that Councillor Halls received 2 votes, Councillor Van der Peer 7 votes and Councillor Norris 7 votes. So we have a tie. So we'll need to have a re-vote. This time you'll be voting for one person, either Councillor Van der Peer or Councillor Norris. Councillors, the result of the ballot, Councillor Van der Peer received 9 votes, Councillor Norris 7 votes. Congratulations, Councillor Van der Peer, who is elected.
Yeah, well done. Yep, congratulations, Councillor Van der Peer, well done. Thank you. Moving on to 5.4, 2025 LGA Annual General Report, also a meeting and Playford position paper. We have a staff recommendation before us, and as per item 2, we've got to nominate whether we support or do not support item 6.7. Do I have someone happy to move that way and clarify which way we're moving? Councillor Smiljanic.
Thank you. I'm happy to move the staff recommendation with the committee supporting item 6.7, attachment 1, regarding the preferential voting review outcomes and recommendations. The reasoning for me saying support is that previously it was just a cross as to who you wanted to vote as number one. That with a preferential voting, you do number from 1 through to however many, and then it works to be similar to how we're elected as an elected body or elected member. So I do think that this will simplify the way the President is actually voted in, and there is some caveats there as well, that they must be within the committee for 12 months before being elected as an LGA president. So I think that this is a good way to move forward, and happy to hear debate if someone does choose to not support, but I think this is a very positive way forward versus just a crossing, and I guess a good example maybe with regards to what we just experienced just then, where we have to go to another vote. This will prevent that from happening.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Halls.
Yes, I'm happy to second that.
Thank you. Would you like to speak to that? No, thank you. All right, I'll put that to the floor. Any other discussions or debate? If not, I'll put that to vote. All those in favour? And those against? I declare that carried. Thank you. Moving on to, where are we? Informal discussions, which there are none. Then move on to 6.1 on page 388. We've got the events and activation update. Mr. Tom Madigan.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening, everyone. Pleasure to be here this evening to talk to you about events and activation. So, just talking about the purpose. So I'm here to provide an update around the events and activations that have been taking place. It has been some time since we've had this discussion. So the last time was just before Anzac Day back in April. You may notice that I have my colleague Elle here with me this evening. So normally I come and present to you just about the work that's happening in specifically the civic event space and the events and activation space with my team. Tonight we're actually going to talk to you more broadly around the work that in events that's happening across council, which is really exciting, and we're really pleased to be able to give you that wider view of what's been happening. So we're looking forward to that, and hopefully you enjoy that this evening. Okay, on with the show. So civic events, starting off there, going back to Anzac Day. So we delivered this one obviously back in April. The event went exactly as we would have hoped it went. We were very lucky with the weather at the service in the morning. It was quite a balmy morning. We had a great turnout. Between the two events, between the vigil and the service, we had over 3,000 attendees there. So from a delivery and community perspective, that's exactly what we're looking to achieve, which was great to see. Thank you event. So this is a small event which happened in June, only 85 people, but a really, really important event for us because this is the time that we get a chance to thank the people that support us through our Anzac Day events, through Australia Day, and we couldn't do these events without them. So it was a great opportunity to do that and see everyone there on the evening. Citizenship, we've been busy around citizenship since we last spoke back in April. We've had 390 people go through. One of those was delivered at the Royal Adelaide Show. We also delivered back-to-back ceremonies on the Australian Day of the Citizen as well. So 390 people going through. We've actually got one this Thursday night, so getting close to another one. So we're looking forward to that and working on that at the moment. And then we've got events booked into next year for January, February and March as well. So a jam-packed agenda of citizenships coming up next year. So touching on what's coming soon, we're very, very excited about Carols. We've got Hugh Sheridan coming along. So this is a relatively big name. So we're hoping this is going to pull people along to Carols this year. So looking forward to seeing that being delivered. We're excited about that, and we really want to see nice weather so we can deliver a great event and be there and enjoy it with community. So we're hoping you can come along and join us as well. Australia Day, things are proceeding well as well, very much a similar format for the Australia Days which you've seen before. We've got COSI there again this year, and then obviously we'll be having a citizenship ceremony, and then we have the Citizen of the Year ceremonies as well. And I'd Just wanted to flag with you that the applications for Citizens of the Year are closing this Friday, and there's a few areas where we really appreciate if you're aware of people that you could promote that, and that's the Active Citizenship Award, the Young Active Citizenship Award, and the Sports Club of the Year. If you know anyone that you think fits in those categories, we'd really appreciate it if you could talk to them and help us get some applications in that space by Friday. That would be much appreciated. Thank you. So moving into the general events and activation space, so this is where we have the delegation under the CEO to deliver a range of different events, and we have certainly been busy in this space since last time we spoke. Back in June, we did something we hadn't done before, so we worked at the Little Rockets Cafe and delivered 2 days of activities there across 6 sessions. Everybody loved it. Satisfaction rates was through the roof. We had about 1,000 people coming to that as well. So different event, went really well. Everyone that attended loved it. So it was great to see that happening. Sala, so we spoke to you about this earlier this year. This is one that we trialled last year. We've gone ahead again this year. We had 3 artists this year, which was great, wanting to come and present their art here in the Great Hall. So they came in, and we had them in there over about a month where they'd come in and present their art. They had opening nights. They had people coming through. And the aim of that is connecting people with the opportunity to see art and enjoy that. So that certainly happened. We had 28 pieces sold during the time that those people were here, so it was great to see people coming in and enjoying that, and that's something we were looking forward to growing year by year as well and getting more people involved in that next year. So the One Tree Hill Community Day event in September, going back in the early planning phases, we were planning the event in September, and we had a grant round out, and the One Tree Hill Progress Association actually approached us and said they applied to do a grant to do a similar event in September. So we got together with them and said, would you like to collaborate with us on this event? They were very keen, so that was an opportunity for us to work with them, which was perfect. We did that as an absolute collaboration, so we worked with them through that phase. Sometimes collaboration can take a bit more, but it was really effective. It gave us a great interactions with the community, with the schools, understanding what people were looking for. Came together in one of those really lovely events up at McGilt Recreation Park. We had the opportunity to again celebrate the opening of the park. We had over 2,000 people there, exactly the type of event that we like to be delivering for community. Virginia Twilight Movie Night. So this was our 3rd attempt at this. We tried earlier in the year. We wanted to do something at the Footy Oval, or in the community centre. We tried. We couldn't get it to work, but we've managed to nail it back in October at the Central Lake Reserve. So it was a really, really good night. Had lots of people along. We had the movie Sing 2 was played. 700 people coming along to enjoy that event. So we were great. The reason we were so keen to get out there is we haven't had an event out at Virginia for some time. So it's nice to get out there and be part of that community and have a great night. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there for that one, but I did see the feedback on Facebook with lots of people saying they enjoyed the event. Club room openings. So we've had a couple that have been happening in this space this year. We had one for the Clara Reserve Club Rooms, which is obviously council invested into a big facility, so we're celebrating that opening. We went down the avenue of having a relatively large community event to have people to come along and promote the sports clubs, that people could come and hopefully become members of those sports clubs. So we know some of those conversations happened on the day. It was a really enjoyable day, barbecue, fun activities. Everywhere you look, there's people enjoying themselves on the afternoon event that we ran, and we're hoping that some of those conversations help to flesh out memberships going into those clubs as well. Agana Park change rooms, obviously another important project for us. We tackled this a little bit differently. It was decided to run this as a media event because the clubs were already in place. So we had a media event with about 55 people there. We recognised the completion of the project and our funders as part of that work. So it was a really nice smaller event at Agana Park in August, which went well. Park openings, we've had 4 of these going through from July to October, so we've delivered openings at Virgo, Barrow, Gloaming and Don Hardy, each delivered separately, the last 2 on separate days as well. So these are small events where we let it drop people in the adjacent community, so it's a smaller local event where we're targeting those people to come along and help us to celebrate the opening up of those spaces. So they've gone well. We had a range of free activities and food for people to come along and be part of, which was nice. Going across those different openings, we've had nearly 400 people come along, which was great. Looking forward to next week, so we've got the Elizabeth 70th anniversary celebrations next week. We've got a formal event happening out at the Stone on Sunday, which you're all invited to. Looking forward to that one. Be concerned about the weather, so maybe have a check of the weather before you come along on that one as well, and think about what you need to wear. We've got some activations here in the Civic Centre. If you come in next week, there'll be imagery up on the wall. There'll be part of the collection will be out for the community to be able to come in and see. We've got an event happening between the Shedley and the Great Hall. Within the Shedley, we're having 3 members of community come in, being led by a staff member, to talk about their experiences of living in Elizabeth and the city of Playford. And then once that's finished, we're moving out into the Great Hall, and a staff member will actually be talking to community about all the artefacts that we've got out on display. And then we've got a high tea coming out, high tea at Grenville next week to celebrate also. I understand the tickets have gone really well, potentially sold out on that one. Maybe, yep. Erin's nodding at me, so I think that's probably pretty much at a sellout. We've got 60 or 70 people booked in to come in the Shedley as well. So these events are looking great, and we're looking forward to delivering those for community. So I'm going to hand over in a minute, but just to sort of wind out my part, the team has been really busy with these events this year, but we're delivering the work that we want to do. We're out there with community. It's great to see people coming along and having a great time at the event, so really pleased. We're rolling up our sleeves, looking forward, moving into the events next week, and then moving into Carols, and then into Australia Day next year, so it should be good times through the festive season. So I'll hand over to Elle, and she can talk more broadly about some of our other events as well.
Thank you very much, Tom. Good evening, guys. Tom's used up all the time, so I'll do my best to stay within the limits. So, as Tom mentioned before, it's the first time that we've come here tonight to present the events in this way. Part of the differences between some of these events I'm about to talk about and the ones that Tom's just brought together is that the community development elements have been really weaved into these next events. We've thought really deeply about the parts of the community, the really unique components, and using an events as a vehicle to build the fabric and the threads within community. So first up, we've got the Northern Adelaide Jobs and Careers Expo. So back in October, the purpose of this event really was to look at supporting the local community to find work, but also building that connection to local businesses and supporting them. As you can see, the attendees were in excess of 4,000 people. It was an excellent event, second year in a row, and a lot of energy behind this event. Also, just to mention, 37 sponsors with 114 interactive stalls there. Next up is the Positive Futures Expo, winding our minds back in May, held at the Civic Centre. Just a reminder that this is an annual event, really building on inclusive careers for supporting people with a disability planning in their future. The attendees are over 500 people, and for that section of community, that is a really valuable event and really well attended. Next up is the Kids Day Out, and this year we really wanted to celebrate during Kids Week, Children's Week, an event that put children at the centre of the event and really recognising them as important citizens and highlighting their importance to the community and to council. The weather impacted the potential at this event. It was quite a rainy and stormy day, but we still had nearly 600 people attending the event here at the Civic Centre. Next up is a slightly smaller event, quite well attended for a very, very niche event around live events careers. This was held at Northern Sound System. This is recognising the importance of young people and careers in the local events, live music events, building on networking with other professionals in the industry. There were workshops. Only 100 people turned up, but it was a really quality event here at Northern Sound System. The youth markets was held for the first time in September, is going to make a return before Christmas as well. Again, the attendance, whilst looks small, was really targeted at promoting young people and showcasing their creativity and entrepreneurial spirit. And many of the people who held stalls were able to sell their wares and make a profit on the day, which was excellent. Next up, we have History Month, which was held back in May, and this is really around celebrating and connecting community to Playford's rich history and recognising connections and intertwined with our local community and all of the legacies. It was attended by approximately 700 people, which is excellent. The author market, again, was held back in July, and this is around supporting and promoting local independent authors. And there were many, many stalls and author talks, which we got a lot of great feedback on this event as well. Over 800 people at that event. And lastly, the Stretton 10-year anniversary held back in October. October was a very busy month for these events, showcasing the Stretton Centre and bringing together the local community. And it was a really, really well-attended event on a Friday evening, and the weather couldn't have been more perfect for that event. It was excellent. That brings us to the end of the presentation, members. Tom's interested in hearing any questions or feedback you may have.
Councillor Norris.
I just had feedback regarding the author market because it was absolutely freaking fabulous. I think we need a bigger venue because it was just hard to manoeuvre around. Yeah, it was quite crowded, which is great that there was so many people there, but maybe even considering like JMC. Yeah, because I think it's great. The authors know now, a lot of them had sold out in like the first hour, so I think, you know, coming back next year, they're bringing a lot more books with them too, so, yeah.
Thank you for the feedback, Councillor Norris.
Councillor Smiljan-Janik.
Thank you. I have 3 points, one being the Anzac Day. That was done very, very well. Thank you. Sergeant Wayne Leithley did fantastic doing his speech, and I promoted it on socials, and the feedback was that his dad actually reached out to me, who actually lives interstate, and said, hey, look, I wasn't able to attend to watch my son do his speech. Has council got any footage of him, photo, video? And sure enough, the staff did. So I was able to pass that on back to his dad, who was super proud of him all the way up in Queensland. So you talk about bringing communities together. It's not just here in Playford and our surrounding, it's also interstate as well. So thank you for that. The other a question I had with regards to that History Month, and you had 700 people partake over that entire month. Did you use that information? I feel like you had this planned. Did you use a lot of that information to prepare for the Elizabeth 70th anniversary by any chance?
I believe some of those team members were involved in the conversations,
Okay.
but probably, to be honest, probably not in a major way.
Okay,
Yep.
all right, no
Yep.
worries. I thought that might have been very strategic. And last but not least, I have another point that I would just very, very thankful. The Stretton Centre 10-year anniversary. Oh my goodness, it was a fantastic event. So well done to the council staff. The kids and I had an absolute blast, from the free barbecue to there was paid stuff there if you did want to. And I did actually mention this in a council meeting, ordinary meeting, but again, it's not just our local community. I was speaking to a family there, and it was a stepfather who had raised this daughter, and they were meeting the real father for the first time in a very long time, and they had travelled all the way from down south of Adelaide to be there at this event. So looking at it again, it's not just our community that we're affecting, it's the greater, and we're putting our name out there for the City of Playford, connecting communities together. So well done to you and your team.
Thank you for the feedback.
Councillor Smith.
Thank you.
Yep.
Tom, sorry, I've got a really bad throat. If I may, the high tea at the Grenville, where was that advertised? Because we as elected members did not receive an email indicating it was on. I actually asked at the Grenville one day, and I was told it hadn't opened, and 2 days later it was sold out.
Okay.
So I've got tickets. I've got tickets for 3 of us, but I don't think anyone else in this chamber's got tickets because we weren't told about it.
Yeah, and I understand it has sold out quickly. I don't know the answer to that question. I'll have to take it on notice and come back and let you know around when it went up and it was advertised, which I'm happy to do.
Yep. Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Craig.
Yeah, through the chair. Yeah, thanks a lot for the presentation. It's really excellent to see. I guess there's possibly more. There might be some small things that you didn't include. I'm wondering. I'm just curious that I appreciate the Anzac Day event in Smithfield, but I attended the One Tree Hill one, and that was packed out as well. Did you get involved in that one, or that's kind of they run their own thing there? Just curious on that point.
Sure.
And I guess there might be other Anzac Day things in the city, is there? Or
there
Smithfield, One Tree Hill, and then there's another one somewhere? Or?
Yeah, there's a range. I don't know each exact one off the top of my head. We were only involved in the one we delivered. The part we do play is, as part of our marketing, we promote where other ceremonies are as well.
Excellent.
To make sure that the community is aware that they don't just have to come to ours, and there's others out there as well.
Councillor Bowney.
Thank you. I just have a question about the youth market and the outer market. So do they have to pay for them to have their stall in the market, or to reserve a spot? Or
Thank you for the question. No, at the youth markets and the author markets, it was free to set up a stall.
Free of charge, yeah. No worries. And I have another question. With the number of attendees, so some of them were exact and some of them weren't. So how do you keep track of all the numbers of people? Is it like head counts or keep tally of?
Generally, at our events, we'll have a security officer there.
Okay.
So we will ask the security officer, they're used to counting the crowd. So in those larger events, we'll be asking them regularly, how many do you think are here? And then at the end of the day, we'll be asking, what do you think the peak was? So we keep records that way. It's not going to be down to the exact person. For a smaller event, it's simpler, where we can keep track of crowds. And sometimes we'll use a counter. For the numbering around the Careers Expo. We actually had people outside monitoring people coming and going from the site, so we could get a better understanding that way as well. That one was quite complex because basically this whole facility was used. There was people outside, people everywhere. So we do the best we can. It's an estimate at the best days, but certainly when we've got security there, they're used to estimating numbers of people, so we get a better estimate when we're using security.
Because
staff.
it would be really good to use these counters. They're easy to use, and it's very beneficial to know how many people are actually attending. And it would be nice to see, what age group are attending, which, kind of events more. For example, if you want to promote the events, which, groups we're targeting to, get that event promoted.
That data
if it's like adults, because some of the events are family attending, so if you like more kids attending or more, family, it's a good point to know, with age group, is it at least to know adults or kids, how many adults, how many kids attending.
For some of our events, our large events like Carol's, when we do surveys, we might have 200 to 300 people reply to a survey. So as part of that survey, we collect information on the breakdown of the people that are there. So that gives us some of that information. Something that we're interested in is how can we use sort of the Internet of Things to help us with that. But we haven't stumbled across a good way to be able to actually give us an estimate of how many mobile signals are coming in and out of an area.
And also for those family-friendly events, like if there's more kids attending, we can have more workshops around, occupying, kids, getting their attention more to, attend the events along with the family. That would be a nice way. And also another point that I want to make as well is that most of these events are during business hours, and I started to work full time. I would love to attend, as much as I can, have a chat with the, residents and see, the events, how it's running and stuff. But it would be really nice to have, at least few events during, weekends, or at least, after 5 o'clock. That would be really amazing. I also had a chat with my co-councillors as well. They had the same issue, so they would love to attend, but they're during business hours, and it's really hard, you can't make it and you miss out, and
Thank you. We appreciate that, and so we do try to strike a balance. Like
not all of them, just at least
events,
few.
But we take that on board and we appreciate it. So we do try to get that diversity. So and we'll keep that in mind as we plan moving forward as well.
Yeah, no worries.
So appreciate the comment. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Small-Smith.
Yes, sorry, Tom. Just one more question, if I may. The event scheduled for Sunday morning at Playford Gardens, is that still happening? Because it wasn't up there on the screen with the events for the 70th birthday.
Sorry, which event was that? Sorry,
On Sunday morning at Playford Gardens down on Goodman Road, there is an event to celebrate the 70 years, but it was not up there on your schedule. So I'm asking, is it still going ahead?
Yeah, it is. So that's the formal opening that we have on Sunday. So yes, that's going ahead. That's the one where I was mentioning the weather may be not fabulous. So we're definitely going ahead with that event though. Rain, hail or shine will be there. So going ahead.
Thank you, Councillor Tarr.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Hey, in regards to advertising for child-friendly, family-friendly events, is there an opportunity to deliver pamphlets to childcare centres around?
Thank you for the question, Councillor Tarr. Absolutely, yes. So with the Kids Day Out, we actually contacted childcare centres, kindies and primary schools. And with the youth markets, we were in contact with high schools as well. So I think we can always improve, so we'll look to keep doing that in different ways as well.
Okay, I only ask because my daughter obviously goes to childcare and we've received nothing. We've received stuff from Salisbury Council, but not Playford specifically, that's in Anglevale. My next question is for elderly events. I don't really see much for the elderly within Playford, other than in the Grenville Centre. Is there any advertising done in aged care homes for people that can get out?
We haven't in our formal events, so one of the things we do is we haven't spoken about it tonight, but we do obviously do shows through the Shedley, in particular the OOTS program, and we have a calendar for that, and we do send it out to nursing homes and outside of Playford as well, so we get people coming from all over this side of Adelaide to become a part of that event. They've gone, when we started a few years ago, we weren't getting a lot of people, sort of sometimes we might only get 25 to 50 people. We're now getting regularly 200 to 300 people coming along to those events, and certainly that is part of the age of the older community. Similarly, just adding to what Elle said, so we are starting to look at the younger end of the scale as well. So we're planning an event it's around Easter next year. We've reached out to, or in the process of reaching out to the OSHAs in the area, childcare in the area, to get into their long-term planning for them to be able to reach out to people to get that into the works and to be able to get that to work as well. So we're collecting some data around that to see how that's going to go over time.
Thank you.
Thank you. No more questions? If there's no more questions, thank you, Elle and Tom. Always fantastic to hear the update from the Events Activation team. It's really appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to 6.2, Quarterly Capital Projects Update on page 389. We have presenters Ms Mitson, Mr Deneen and Mr Ritter. Thank you.
Through the chair, we have 21 projects to update the council on tonight, so we'll just get into it. In terms of definition, Heaslip Road streetscape project. The good news is that it has been progressing well, to the point that we will be presenting this to the information session of council next week, seeking elected member feedback on the concepts that have been developed to this point. So very much looking forward to next Tuesday. One Tree Hill streetscape upgrade project. We're getting our ducks lined up for that one in the business plan that's set to commence from early next year. So it's approximately 1.2 kilometres of blacktop road at One Tree Hill, moving westerly from Jordan Drive, looking at the two gateways into the main retail precinct. And then looking how we improve traffic, pedestrian experience and safety on that part of Blacktop Road. So we'll have our consultant appointed by the end of the year, and we'll get stuck into the work early next year. So very much looking forward to that, getting into that project as well. Anglevale Community Sports facility, the update on that project is that we're still doing the peer review of the sports facilities strategy. And we certainly notice that that facility gets very, very well utilised. So we're just making sure we look sort of broader before we come back into the project. But concurrently, we're also preparing the concept designs for the community space, the sports community space in that building, to make sure that we're delivering value for money and the best outcomes for the community. I'll just hand you over to Matt to do Frad Road.
Frad Road, as an update from our last presentation, we're looking to meet with the Angle Vale Gardens Retirement Estate in December, as well as the Angle Vale Primary School, to work them through the design, the concept design that we've progressed so far. Harris Bubner and Shivel Road, just north of Angle Vale Road, just as update, thankful to say that we've got a new infrastructure planner starting next Tuesday who will be driving this project forward and taking it from off hold into planning and design. Those projects currently under detailed design or progressing through. Frisbee Road upgrade, you'll see a section of that road is currently under construction, approximately 500 metres south of Frad Road. That's being driven by a private developer, and they're anticipating to complete that by Christmas, with some minor lighting works progressing in the new year. The Frisbee and Frad intersection, being a roundabout, is currently completed in design, with that developer who's driving that project forward, working with adjoining landowners for required acquisition. So all going well with those encroachments, they'll be looking and hoping to progress construction of that roundabout in early 2026. And Council is progressing with a detailed design, principally north of Frad Road, and that is currently moving towards 70% detailed design with tender. That work is working through following tender. Frisbee Curtis intersection. To the south of the Frisbee Road upgrades we've just been talking through. We have been working with the Department of Infrastructure and Transport. At this stage, the priority for that intersection is to work towards a signalised dual lane intersection, very much in alignment with the design that we're progressing at Andrews Road and Curtis Road. Again, the new project manager starting next Tuesday will be progressing that work forward, and we will need to be considering the Bunnings access in that design process also. The intersection of Andrews Road and Curtis Road, since we've last provided an update, Council has provided that in principal contribution to the project and the increase of scope. We're still awaiting consideration of the Department of Infrastructure and Transport through a Cabinet submission for their additional funds required to progress that. That developer who's leading that work is eager to move into progress to tender and seeking to commence construction of that project next calendar year. The Nexie Western Swale along Northern Expressway, you'll recall this is the regional solution, stormwater solution for much of Playford North Extension growth area. We've progressed that detailed design to 100%. We're just working through a structural review of certain head walls or stormwater infrastructure, just to ensure that they're comfortable in their ongoing maintenance of those improvements. Once we've reached detailed design, we'll be progressing with a cost estimate that will start to inform the contributions required from those landowners within that growth area towards its construction. Stage 1 of the Riverlea Sports Precinct is currently at 70% detailed design, and we're looking to prepare a tender out to construct, acknowledging the time constraints on this project, needing this stage to be up and running by the time that the school opens in 2027, and that school again is under construction currently. So construction is on track to commence in February, March of next year. Move over to Janie.
Thank you, Matt. So the Playford Water Expansion Project, as you're aware, we were successful in 1.98 million of grant funding for this. Current status is the team is working through detailed design, and that should be ready for tender in the new year. Ridley Reserve Sports Facility, so a new slide for us. You'll remember last month in budget review, the planning team was ahead of schedule, so we were able to bring forward funding to commence detailed design for this project. Please don't be hung up by the amazing concept design. It may not be curvy by the time we finish, but it is a beautiful concept. So our status for that, we are looking in scope for a double-storey new club room building. And the next steps for us is, it's hot off the press, and we'll just commence the preparation for a design brief to go out to tender to engage our detailed designer. Dwight Reserve change rooms. This project has been on hold for a little while as we work through a better solution. So you'll remember originally there was a separate new building and a refurbishment of the existing buildings. We've made the decision to combine those two projects and again make a double-storey building. So the next steps are we're reinvigorating that detailed design process and working through that with our consultant, and detailed design will start progressing for a single facility in this location. Then on to the execution phase. Manopara Sports Ground, tenders have closed. The team is currently undertaking a really in-depth tender evaluation. Concurrently, we're moving forward with the design for stage 3, so the current construction tender is just for stage 2. We will work through that tender evaluation phase and hopefully award a contract this calendar year, with construction to commence not until January or February next year. It's a very large project, so I imagine it will take a while for the contractor to mobilise for that one. Stebben Heath Dalkeith Roundabout. As you're aware, this is almost fully funded by federal black spot funding. All the land acquisition was finalised in July. As soon as that was finalised, Telstra mobilised and completed their relocation works, and we were able to call a construction tender, which was awarded recently towards the end of October. SA Water relocation works actually commenced yesterday. They'll be doing night works. There's about a week of works for them. And Sappan have finally given us a date to commence their relocation works. They need to move a couple of Stobie poles, and we'll do that in December, following which we will commence site works in January. So the construction period for that is about 5 months. So we're forecasting the works will be completed by May, which obviously lines up with the grant funding deadline from Black Spot, which is June of this year. We're currently finalising the design for the reconstruction of the road. So again, as soon as we're done with this roundabout, we'll commence the tender process for the road renewal, which we'll do right up to Anglevale Road. Sheedy Road upgrade. We awarded the construction contract again really recently last month. Telstra, SA Water and APA Gas have already completed their service location works, and we've just received the final design from NBN, so we'll engage them shortly to do their service relocations. The construction contract for this one will commence in January. The next slide I've got is on Park Road Drain. These two projects are kind of concurrent, but because they're each other's detour route, we're not going to start works on this one until January, as we're already underway on Park Road Drain. This road is a little bit more difficult than the others. There's a high pressure gas main, and there's a lot of Stobie poles. So just kind of foreshadowing, we will do our best with the landscaping, but we're not going to be able to plant, the same number as massive trees that we normally like to on these upgrades, because we don't have the verge space. But we are working with the tree team to see what we can do that's consistent with those Stobie poles on the other side. And Park Road Drain. So we've been on site, works have been underway since September. We are about 20% of the way through section 3, so that's the open swale section. As soon as that section is complete, which will be in about February, we can then, as I said before, start the works on Sheedy Road that may impact Sheedy Road traffic, which will divert down here. When the Sheedy Road works do start, they will start in the reserve end, so there won't be any impact on traffic until we're off of Park Road with this project. We've also just awarded the contract for the design for section 1 and 2. So the current construction contract is section 3 to 7, and we're currently commencing the detailed design for section 1 and 2. Section 2 is the big crossing underneath Port Wakefield Highway. So just started negotiation again with DIT, who will need to approve our design for that, because obviously that's their highway. We are forecasting that this road will be the Section 3 to 7 works will be complete by the end of May of next year. Just a quick program update on our footpaths. These are the programs I get asked about the most by elected members. So of the 47 individual projects we have in the footpath program this year, one's design only, but 24 of the construction works are complete, and there are another 4 that are in construction at the moment. And as you'll remember from the request for the seal, we were successful with 3 out of 4 of our applications to the State Bicycle Fund for our larger projects on Adams, Yorktown and Garlick Roads. And then the completed projects, I think Tom's done a good job of stealing the thunder for all of these. They get the glory of the events, but Gloaming and Don Hardy reserves were finished in the last quarter. Works commenced on site for 1 in June, 1 in July, and both the community opening events were held last month in October. Mark Oliphant Kiss and Drop, that also finished, open to the public on the 22nd of October last month with a small media opportunity. And then I'm claiming this one, Argana Park. We've had the opening of the change rooms. It will be finished in 10 days. We're literally just doing clean-up. I'm claiming it now. So a little bit of painting left to do. The contractor is demobilising over the next 10 days. They're doing minor works like backfilling dirt behind curbs and getting rid of piles of construction rubbish and stuff like that. But yes, full completion, booked in with a walkthrough for the 21st of November. We're claiming it. Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, thank you very much. Fantastic presentation. I'll put that. Any questions? Councillor Onizans.
Yes, thank you, Chair, and thank you, Jenny, for your presentation. Could you please go back to a slide where the Playford Waters is about?
Where what, sorry?
Playford Waters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what is the scope of work that's going to get done in that area?
So the point of this project is to connect additional sites to our recycled water network.
Is that along Stratton Boulevard?
It's everywhere. So this is our underground managed aquifer recharge system. This is a grant to be able to connect more of our sites to it. So one of the things we do when we first look at a new project or irrigation, we check where we have availability for our recycled water, and this expands that network.
Okay.
So it's not like a single location project per se, it's a network expansion.
Thank you. Councillor Van der Peer.
Thank you. Just a quick question about the Frisbee Road, Curtis Road intersection. So I noticed that in the design, Frisbee Road continues through into what is currently a paddock, and I'm just interested to know what the plans are for that parcel of land and how far that road goes.
Thanks for the question. Through the Chair, that land is identified in the Greater Adelaide Regional Plan for future growth, so we thought it appropriate to consider that future connection as part of the design. Whether we construct that or to what extent, or is it a stub, there are considerations as we progress through design, but it's absolutely necessary for continued engagement with that landowner, and it's essentially future-proofing and forward planning that intersection.
Thank you, Mr. Dean. Councillor Bayani.
Regarding the Argana Park upgrade, is there any opening or is there any events? celebrate the completion?
There
of the
won't
work?
be, because we already did the opening event for the change room. So the major component of Argana Park was the change room completion, handing it over to the club. The rest of it is finishing the car parks and converting the storage room. So I don't think we're planning to have another event.
Yeah, it would be good to have a Facebook or social media posts in order to celebrate this milestone. It would be nice.
I'll take that on notice. I'm sure they will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms Mitton. Councillor van der Peer.
Sorry, I turned my light off too early before. Just a follow-up question about that land in McDonald Park. I'm just wondering how advanced we are in conversations with the landowner. I know you mentioned you're sort of keeping them included in this design process, but are they looking to sell anytime soon, or do you have any update?
Through the chair. We've been in discussions with that landowner for some time. They've identified that land for future growth. It is a contact who holds existing land within the locality that is within rezoned areas. So my understanding is there is a future intent for that landowner to develop the land. The landowner has progressed a code amendment into initiation for consideration.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? No, if not, thank you very much for the presentation. Very much appreciated, thank you. Okay, moving on to item 7, informal actions. There are none. Number 8, confidential matters. There is nil listed. So I'll move on to item 9, which is closure of the meeting. And I'll close the meeting at 8:11 p.m. Thank you for everyone's attendance, and just noting that we now have an information session, Playford Community Centre.
Did you know your food scraps should go in the green bin or a home compost system? It's better for the environment. It's the right thing to do. And it's easy. Fight food waste by putting all your food scraps, peels and leftovers in the green bin. To find out more, visit playford.sa.gov.au/fightfoodwaste.
Want to know what's happening in the community? Subscribe to our e-newsletter, Playford News, at playford.sa.gov.au, and you'll be on top of stories, news and what's happening in Playford. It's local news for local people.
Want to get involved in your community? There are so many benefits in becoming a volunteer at City of Playford, including meeting new people, developing new skills, sharing your talents, improving your employability, as well as enhancing your own mental health and well-being.
If you want to learn more about